Folks, what the crap's going on? What the rat crap is going on? What the mutagen? What the growth juice? Whatever it is we want to do tonight. How are y'all doing?
I'm not ready, fool.
We doing good tonight? I'm glad you can hear me. That's good. I'm starting to get back into the groove of remembering, you know, which settings to turn on for the stream, which ones to turn off when I go back to recording, and so on and so forth. Starting to get used to it. Red eyes in the shadows lie spring at bird boy's advice. What, said she? There'll be ratting tonight? Yeah. There's gonna also be some rattling guns. Regina, I can't believe you joined a Skaven stream. Does this kind of like... Does this hurt your standing with the other elves to be on a Skaven stream? Jim, thanks for being here. Senshi, Ardek, Jim, appreciate you all being channel members. It's appreciated. Orkos, how's it going? Pop, welcome. Thanks for being here. Archernut, Matthew, Killscribe. I'll get some kills for you tonight. Get you some good ones, okay? I'll get you some good ones. All right, let's jump in. We've got the Throt campaign. Just remember what our objective is. That's not the objective screen here. This is. Here's what our objective is. It says chapter objectives. We need to loot, raise, or sack 12 different settlements, and we've done 9. And over here on the victory conditions, we need to finish that, and then we need to do another upgrade in the flesh laboratory. So I think that's what we really need to do. We're in a good position to probably do both.
Build strength, yes, yes.
Regina says, yes, I forced myself to listen to the stupid voices and grammar just for you. Well, thanks, Regina. It was nice of you to make fun of the Skaven's voice and grammar and not my own. You know, I do appreciate that, though. If you want to come after me, it's okay. Hey, did you all see, I finished the... Well, he's not finished. I still have to put a shade on it. This is my first ever Warhammer figurine I made. It's a Stormcast unit. I don't remember what kind of unit it is. It's like a Sequitur or whatever the heck they're called. I don't know, but it's fun. I wanted to try out a new hobby, and I was like, you know, I should give it a try. Like, I do all this Warhammer stuff. I should try it out. Unfortunately, all the old original Warhammer stuff is mostly or discontinued, I should say, no longer used. But the cool thing is that I've noticed that the cities of Sigmar in Age of Sigmar, you can get a bunch of, to me, what looks like original Warhammer models that they've just kind of reused with Age of Sigmar. So it's kind of neat. Like, I saw some Eternal Guards, some Wildwood Rangers, some Phoenix Guard, Frostheart Phoenix. I swear one of the models is Belagar. Like, they don't call it Belagar, but it's definitely Belagar. So it's kind of neat. So I'm excited for it. Hey, Anthony, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a channel member, too. Regina says the fantasy battles models will be back soon, so no worries. Well, I'm super excited if they come back. But I think that's the thing. Is like, I got to figure out what I want to pick up next, right? I'm not necessarily buying these models in order to play the tabletop game. I mean, sure, maybe I will one day. But I'm not buying them with the expectation to play the tabletop game. It's just more of like a hobby, and then they're really cool. It's kind of fun to like do something and then keep it around. It's kind of like building a computer, right? Like, I take pride whenever I build something. Like, it's kind of the same with these. It's kind of fun. It's very wallet busting, but it's very fun. I found it like I was stressed out from work, like trying to get some stuff done. It wasn't too bad, but you know, just like the stresses of work, trying to get everything done. I never have time to get out of the house because it's winter time. There's not a lot of daylight, you know, after work and all that kind of stuff. And it was very therapeutic to just sit down, like turn on a light, get the little paintbrush, and just kind of like get the little bitty details, you know, go at it. It like gave me something to focus on, and it wasn't and trust me, I love computer screens, right? Clearly, because I play games, but I also get burned out on it, like too much screen time. And so it was a very nice therapy to do something that was interactive and enjoyable, but didn't require me to be in front of a screen. So yeah. It is straight up Belagar. That's what I was thinking, Anthony. It really did look like Belagar. HH Raid, thanks for being here. It says those are for people to use their old models so they can continue to make money off their old cast. Yeah, I would think so, Regina. That makes sense. You know, don't have to change everything. Just reuse some of the same models. Okay, well, we need to raise some more settlements. That much is true. Throt the Unclean is very unclean. And he's ready to do some more battles here. The thing is I've already sacked these ones. We need to go further. I guess we're just going to have to go in here and wreck a few extra settlements. Just so we can meet our campaign objectives. Though we're very busy with chaos at the moment, too. So let's send Throt up here, and let's pay a visit to Gerhard Graf, or Valmir von Raukov. Here we go.
Meat flesh for me.
Trantor, thanks for being here tonight. Anyway, one of these days, I told people as a joke that I could do a paint drying stream, so now I might actually be able to do a paint drying stream. And here's the thing, though. I got rid of my... when I got my new phone, like I picked up this Samsung S20 last year, and when I got it, the camera on it was so good that it was pointless for me to keep my old DSLR camera. But I can't use the Samsung as a webcam, at least I haven't been able to figure out how. Maybe there's a way, and I need to figure it out. But if I could use it as a webcam, I actually could do a stream. But yeah, I don't really have a camera for streaming like real life stuff. I have this webcam up here, but there's no way that this thing has the capability to handle like the kind of detail that I would want people to be able to see. Because I'd love to do like a live computer build sometime too. Like build a whole computer live. I think that'd be really fun to like show people how to do it. They could ask questions while we're going along and stuff. But yeah, paint drying stream could be a thing now. Could be a thing. Why it says that the paint drying stream would be more interesting than Daith's weapons. Oh man. Poor Santa Daith. Like, it's not even his fault. It's like CA did it to him, and he just has to live with it. Seriously, those weapons aren't very interesting. Some of them are okay, but, like, yeah, it's just not that interesting. They say they're going to do some work on it, but and they have already done some work on it. But I just keep thinking to myself, like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you really going to do that's going to make that, like, particularly interesting? I don't know. I hope they do. I just don't know what it is. Like, I can think of some things that would make the existing system better, but, I mean, I think it should have been something totally different. And again, I like the new DLC, and I have a lot of fun playing with the Sisters of Twilight, but I still feel like that the DLC would have been better if there would have been a forest expansion mechanic. The thing they did is fine. It's totally playable. Like, it's not terrible or something or else like that, right? I just think it would have been better with a forest expansion mechanic rather than what they did with, like, the Heathlands and stuff. I mean, just my opinion, okay? For whatever it's worth, which is probably very little. Just my opinion. I forgot to look and see if these guys have cavalry.
Rattling gun. Council's command.
Alright. Just in case they have some, like, cavalry I can't see back there. Let's get things started, shall we? This is going to be an absolute massacre. Oops. I clicked the wrong button.
Saints are barren.
How do you guys think their crossbowmen are going to do back here? Good? Yeah, their crossbows are going to do great. No problems there. Oh, man. It's so easy for Throt, folks. The food just comes so easily. Throt is, like, they say Throt's always hungry, but is he really hungry? Does Throt look hungry to you? He's pretty well fed in this campaign, I think. Jim says, is the new Skaven DLC bad? No, it's pretty good. It's better, they got better, like, campaign mechanics and stuff than the Wood Elves did. Now, that said, I like playing Wood Elves a little better than Skaven just because my brain tends to them more than it does to Skaven. But, yeah. Ardek said, force spreading mechanic would have been awesome, expanding the realms, reclaiming civilization for the ones. That's what I think. I just think it would have been more interesting that way. What they did isn't terrible, not by any means. It's way, way better than what they had. Now, that shouldn't be the bar that we set things by, because what they had was no good. But, I mean, it's good. It works. Like, I'm not going to complain and be like, CA, give me my money back. I just think that the other one would have been better. That's all there is to it. Why you run, man thing? Yeah, I don't want to do another one of these. We've had our fun with the man things on this turn.
I must eat, feed.
I mean, you know what? Why not kill some more man things on this turn?
Meat flesh for me.
When in Rome.
Clan, eat well now.
I don't think we can hold any more food. I think we're at our food capacity. Yeah.
Sell.
I don't need to replenish any units, but I also don't want to take a hit to replenishment. Many man things died today. Killscribe, you're going to have a hard time keeping up with all this. But it kind of is what it is.
Scare for enemy things.
There we go. Excellent. Excellent. That helped get plenty of growth juice going here. I'm going to come back here, hole up in Savastra, because I need to repair it. There's nothing else I can do for the moment. But then we need to move on, and I need to blow past Wolfenburg and Kappelberg, and go hit Hergig and Talabheim and a few other places. And then I fell back to Prague from Volksgrad, where we're trying to heal up a little while the next waves of chaos come back for us. So yeah, but I think we beat them up pretty good. We're gonna sacrifice Volksgrad. The garrisons here and stuff are pretty beat up. I just didn't want to stay up there and potentially get overrun. We might be able to beat them, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna hang back, play it smarter here. Just play it smarter. Let's see, Aarongrad we should build up while we have the opportunity. There we go. I've got some cash, so we could go ahead and spend it. Shrek Swamp could use some work here. Let's see, what other kind of stuff? Might as well get higher public order. This building right here is pretty useful. Gives us extra income. And then Untainted is pretty nice in these Skaven settlements since I don't need this one as a recruiting bastion. Now I'm not going to spend any money on Volksgrad because it's about to get chaos stomped. Let's see, Hell Pit, we can go ahead and build this. And the Giant Home Mountains have just been quiet and booming like this whole time, which for Skaven is a pretty rare occurrence. It's a pretty rare occurrence indeed. Let's see. I need to level up Throt. Hey, thank you for everybody for being here tonight, by the way. It's great to have you here. Appreciate the support. We're going to attempt to finish this Skaven campaign tonight. What that'll mean is that we're left only to finish the Wargroves of Woe. Then I'm going to finish the Grom campaign, the objectives that we had, which was to go ahead and invade Ulthuan, because I think we've done the other objectives as Grom, so we just have to go invade Ulthuan. Once all that's finished, I'll feel kind of caught up. And then I'm going to start a co-op campaign with Mrs. Air, and we're also going to start a Shogun 2 campaign. So that's what I'm working on right now, is we want to finish these. I want closure on them. I haven't always done the best at finishing campaigns. I think I finished almost all of the campaigns that I've started recently, to the best of my ability, right? I want to finish these, get them like all the way finished, wrap it up, have a nice playlist for people, and then, you know, leave it at that. You don't really need any of that stuff. We could buff up Throt himself, because we haven't done any of that yet. Lizardmen, dwarves, and then a little bit versus everybody else. I think, I mean, we might as well. He could use some armor too, actually. So we'll work on all of that as we go through here. That's for Throt. Oh, let's get Pinky here. Yeah, Shogun 2 is fun. It's like I said, it's got its little quirks that irritate me, but for the most part, it's very fun. And considering that it was made in 2011, that game is still going real strong. Like I said, all things considered, it's going real strong. So let's see here. I think it's a testament to the fact that it was a really solid game. Like I said, it had issues when it released. There was bugs, there was other downsides, stuff like that. It was by no means perfection, but it was an excellent game. Excellent addition to the Total War library. And it's one of those ones that if it comes on sale and you're looking to play, you know, a Total War game you haven't played before, if you haven't played it, it's worth it. It's fun. You'll have a good time with it. I think that much is pretty much a guarantee. Blade Shield would be good because Scorch doesn't have a lot of melee defense. I have more than that air, so you can be a little more liberal. There we go. Got some solid melee defense now. Let's end our turn here. Let's see, Air started my love for Total War with Rome 2. I remember not having a PC for so long and just dying to play Total War every time I'd see his videos. Yeah, I was the same way with Prince of Macedon's videos back in the day. I eventually got some little crummy Dell computers. The first computer I'd ever purchased that had a dedicated graphics card. Now, granted, it wasn't a very good one, right? Because I think I purchased it for like $500 back in the day. And it would play Rome Total War, mainly because Rome Total War was much older than the computer. And then eventually Empire Total War came out. And of course, my computer would play it. You know, it just wasn't great. And eventually, I remember I went... Again, another stupid move. I went to Best Buy and bought their gaming computer for almost $1,000, and to me it was great. I had never had anything that good, but later I realized that I got ripped off and should have just built my own. I ended up, you know, keeping that one, upgrading the graphics card. It was quite, you know, it played Shogun 2 very well, and then eventually I built my own computer for the first time, which was a lot of fun, and of course it kicked the living snot out of the pre-built one that I had. I don't know, I might move back up. I think I'm gonna move back up and support the garrison here. They're healing. I mean, Patchy has healed a considerable amount. I think I'm gonna move up and support the garrison here. So we have walls and everything to work with too.
This city, mine!
Because there's a oh wow, they're going for the giant home mountains. Eee, that's bad. That's bad. I need to try and go help against that. I'm gonna run back to Hell Pit and rest here for a turn, and then head over to the giant home mountain, see if we can do something about that.
Kill things.
Let's see. Killscribe says caught up on the kills. You and Prince were the only people I watched. Yeah, Prince of Macedon, I think he was kind of like the original Total War YouTuber. Like I said, Clooney the Scourge also made a few Total War videos, but he didn't limit himself to Total War. Of course, Prince of Macedon would play other games from now and again, too. So, yeah, he was definitely the reason why I started making videos. No doubt about it. I mean, as my name is kind of like a ripoff of his even, too, right? So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, pretty obvious that I was enjoying his videos.
Twist, bend, mangle,
yeah, Rome 1 was pretty magical. It had, again, you know, it had a lot of problems, of course. But it was great. It was so much fun.
No food meat there, place. No.
Oh man, I ran out of movement points. Alright, well, we'll do it on the next turn. Zavastra's probably going to get hit again, and Shrek's Swamp might get hit again eventually too. I can't defend all this stuff, but that's okay. Throt's going to go on, doing the damage that he needs to do. Let's see, is this more food? Do we have any other... At Kappelberg, we're getting some income.
Feast. Easy prey, yes.
I think we get casualty replenishment rate here. No, we didn't build that here. We didn't build that one there. Nope.
Clan Scryer.
Bad. I don't want to build any of that yet. Let's hang on to a little bit of cash here, just in case we end up in a rough position. Little Skaven savings hidden under the Warpstone mattress. Let's see. It says I was 11 when it came out. I played that game for hours and hours. Yeah, it was fun. It was very different. I mean, Total War was always very different than other strategy games. Like I remember playing the original Shogun game, Shogun Total War, and I just remember thinking how neat it was. Like you had the little 3D battle map and the little dudes, and they were just like 2D sprites running around on the screen back then. But even then, I mean, it was pretty neat, considering what you could do back in the day. Like it was some pretty neat stuff. So yeah, it was cool to see.
Dig, children.
Alright, we'll try to come help out our settlement here. I don't know if we'll make it in time. Alright, Patchy got sieged, and they did have more stacks back there. Only one of theirs, though, is in a position to fight me, and it's giving them far better chances than they deserve. These guys are gonna get wrecked.
Zap! Kill for Scryer!
One of the things that I liked about Rome 1 is the pikes. The pikes on it were pretty cool. I did kind of hate this. The hoplite phalanx didn't do like an overhand spear. I think that would have looked cool. And then they never got phalanx right in Rome 2. Not pike phalanx, not hoplite phalanx. In fact, like unit formations in general in Rome 2 were just really bad. Some of the units looked cool, but they just didn't do what I feel like they should have done, right? I think that was the frustration point with those. But that aside, like I felt like that that the play for phalanxes in Rome 1 was pretty cool. You could take them out of phalanx mode, run them into position, drop the phalanx all of a sudden, and like kind of pin people in battle. Hammer and Anvil was a very real thing. There was a lot of unit imbalance in Rome 1, for sure. Like, I mean, there was some massive unit imbalances. Like, Praetorian cavalry and and urban cohorts were just stupid OP, like, ridiculously OP. And you had other stuff like that that was just really out of hand. But there was a lot of fun stuff, and a lot of the factions played very different from each other. Like, for instance, you know, like Parthia. Parthia and, what's the name of the other one? Like, Britannia. Those two were an ever-loving nightmare to fight against as Rome. Like, so Rome had some of its OP-ness, right? They definitely had some stuff that was OP. But, oh my gosh, like I said, some of those factions were just an absolute nightmare. Like, you'd have head hurlers running around, chariots flying everywhere. And then Egypt was hilarious because instead of being like Ptolemaic Egypt, it was kind of like a Ptolemaic Egypt, but it was also kind of like biblical Egypt. And so it was like Pharaoh that had chased Moses around in his chariots, but he's chasing around the Romans. It was hilarious. Like, but they were another one. Like, I mean, Pharaoh's archers or whatever, they were like stupid powerful. The way that stuff would work, like just absolutely stupid. And it was the same thing with, like, their chariots. Their chariots were so strong. It was really annoying, but, man, it was fun. Like, so even though Rome was a very powerful faction, they had some factions that would just give them a nightmarish day in battle, right? There was factions who could give them a lot of trouble in a battle. And horse archers were really, really good. Like, horse archers would jack you up. You could not catch them. Like, you could not catch them in melee. It was almost impossible. And they would just jack you up unless you had your own archers to try and keep them at bay. They were a mess. Like, it wasn't like Rome 2 or, you know, the Total War game or Warhammer games where you can kind of just be persistent and eventually you'll catch that skirmish cavalry. No. You didn't catch this skirmish cavalry. It was not happening. So it was pretty fun. The Roman Arcani were really good. Yeah, they were fun. There was a lot of interesting units. There was a lot of interesting units in Rome Total War. Like I said, the balancing wasn't perfect, but that's one thing I liked about the factions is the factions were pretty different from each other. They were pretty different from each other. Like Seleucids were like this. Their infantry was kind of a mix of Macedon and Rome because they had some legionary knockoffs and some pikes. But then at the same time, their cavalry was cataphracts. So, and then they had elephants. So Seleucids were kind of like this mixed bag of fun units. And then you had, you know, the Macedonians, which had excellent shock cavalry, really good pikemen, you know, decent archer access, stuff like that. It was neat. The factions were definitely unique.
Great, yes! Great snake! Hograt's will!
Alright, that giant should start getting shellacked pretty good.
Sharpened blades, yes!
I'm gonna try and bring all these slinger units over here to jack up this cavalry.
Good orders!
I can't believe that giant is surviving this many rounds from Jezzail's. A little bit shocked.
Ready, ready! Clan rats! Our pay is yours!
I'm not hearing nothing with these guys.
Slingers!
Move out of the way so we can finish shooting that giant. Mortars, let's pick some new targets.
Smite! Poisoned with water!
Really ought to hit that chosen with great weapon. I think some of these guys have cellular instability, maybe? Can't remember. Let's drop some more stuff in there. Okay, the cavalry is kind of just wasting its time, and some of the infantry over here too. All these garrison slingers are of no consequence to me.
Ready, ready!
That hell cannon's just gonna have its way with us.
Master!
I guess I can send my packmaster out to do something about it. There we go. No problem. We're gonna finish this up. No problem. Chaos destroyed. Our Moulder stone is gone, which is unfortunate, but you know, not the end of the world.
What?
I can't believe the Chaos hasn't like absolutely chain routed at this point. I think he really needs that potion, but might as well use him. Make sure everybody's all healed up. Yeah, see how annoying these Skaven like skirmishers are? I mean, these are Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights are excellent. They weren't doing jack out here. Like they're just getting wasted. I think that's why I stuck these guys over here. I don't know what it is about the Skaven units. Like, I've looked at their special abilities, and yeah, they have some special abilities that are supposed to slow things down a little bit, but they just ruin, like, units. They punch way above their class in melee, and I cannot figure it out. HeirofCarthage, can you do a Rome 1 campaign? No, probably not. The game's a little too old for me. Like, Shogun 2 is already kind of pushing it for me. The game is so much fun. But I'm also really used to all the new UI features and controls and stuff in a new Total War. And that's actually one of the hardest things for me about going back to an old Total War at that point is The UI is just terrible, and the controls are also terrible. The movement is really bad, like how you have to click movement orders and groups and stuff like that. It's really bad in the old games compared to the new ones. I know it would be extremely difficult for them to do, but it'd be really cool if they could maybe patch some of that somehow, but I'm sure it's not worth the development hours to do it. But yeah, it's stream's getting grainy. I'm not dropping anything on my end. It could just be YouTube. There's no packet loss or anything going on my end. So, not sure why it would be grainy. Supposedly everything is working as it's intended here.
Kill, slay that clan.
I know it's easy for me to blame Cox, but I don't actually think they're at fault. It's amazing. Alright, so we
Master engineer.
able to defend, and their armies are starting to get chewed up pretty bad. They're gonna have a hard time accomplishing a whole lot more. Yeah, okay, we've got our movement points over here. Auto resolve this.
Well now.
I'm gonna sack it, take the money, get the replenishment, and then move on.
Kill, eat you.
And we're gonna move up to Hergig.
Kill body. Keep brain.
Settlement garrison. I don't think this does anything. It does not. I mean, do they really think they can survive the mortars? I don't think they can. I don't think they can survive the rattling guns and the mortars. Not to mention the monster spam. So let's fight it. Stream's good here. Didn't notice anything. Okay, that's good. Like I said, I mean, sometimes you do get mysterious stuff like that where it'll get messy, and then, but I mean, nothing's reporting is dropped on my end from the encoding software that I'm using. I've told you before, 18 mortars, 1 abominate. Well, you know why, my man? It would work. It would probably work. 1 hell pit to cause a blob, and 18 mortars and a lord. All you need. It would probably work, sadly enough. Sadly, not sadly, whatever you want to call it. I'm just saying it would most likely work.
Now, ready now. Now, ready now. For the vermin's hide.
I am gonna run some rattling guns up, and I'm gonna take the hell pits in to help clear out the gate. Or actually, we can do it with Throt, because Throt's quick. He'll get up there fast. Use our warp lightning to help clear out the walls a little too. Try and keep my infantry safe and happy back here. As happy as Skaven infantry can be. Okay, let's target the handguns with mortars. Ow. It's quite the tower you got there. I'm gonna stay just out of handgun range. Rattling. Oh my goodness, those towers are strong.
We obey.
Yeah, Throt's speed ought to allow him to get up here relatively unscathed. Okay, the mortars have already cleared out the initial wave of handguns on the walls. Let's kill some more handguns. Throt's working on the gates. I hate how they're smart enough to leave their lord back here. It's actually kind of frustrating. Because otherwise it would allow me to get some really good work done on their mortar units. I'll wait and then drop my summons back there later. Okay, the mortars have already cleared off another wave of crap on the walls. I wish my rattling guns could destroy the towers. Let's get the rest of our monsters. Ready to rock and roll here. There's no longer a handgun threat on the walls. It's not going to be much of any threat left. And speaking of threats, let's start threatening the walls. That's an interesting use of Burning Head. Whatever makes you happy, Empire. Alright, rattling guns, you're kind of wasting your ammo, but you know what? It looks cool. It looks cool, and not a whole lot else to use it on at the moment. I'm gonna keep dumping poison wind mortars over the walls and into this blob. Because there's a rather large blob. You can't target ground with poison wind mortars. Huh. Well, I guess they do have a weakness then. Up until this point, I wasn't aware of one, but this is disgusting. Look what the mortars do. People say they don't like this, like, oh gosh, that's another, oh wow. AI actually did kind of good there. People say they don't like this, like, oh, single-ended monsters are too strong, so is magic. Just don't get as many in your campaign then, right? Don't recruit as much. For me, this is fun, this is hilarious, like, watching my enemies get absolutely stomped on by giant rats and stuff. Like, I love this. It's hilarious. Like, more of this, please. You know what? Let's keep a few of these down here. Come jack up these reinforcements. Get the rest of them. Whoa! Holy handguns! Come on. Get moving over here. We need some help. Get the summons. Yeah, let's get some more summons over here. There we go. There's my Warp Lightning characters. Alright, I think we showed these humans. I think they're aware who owns them at this point. Oh gosh, those mortars. Oh, don't! Easy. You've done enough. Alright, we did it. I would say hair gig is now air gig. What do y'all think? Rattling gun, light show, and mortar fireworks, exactly. Kingdoms Kingdoms managerial fire barrels or loading caps. What? I'm so confused, Senshi. You're too far in for me here. It says this gives me a small fix for all the all gun empire. Yeah, I know. I do miss that one, but it was mostly done anyway. And with all the mods being the way they are, it'd be hard for me to restart that one. Rename it Air Gig. I might. And Regina says it was a terrible pun. Indeed, it was. That was intentional. Indeed it was. Oh. Woo! Yeah, that is some beautiful loot. That is some beautiful loot. Let's go to an ambush stance over here.
Still, prepare ambush.
That is some really, really beautiful loot, actually. Let's go with thick-skinned. How characteristic of you, see? Now you're on board, Regina. Once you get into the lame puns, they consume you. See, now I know. None of these really matter at this point. They're not gonna make a whole heck of a lot of difference one way or the other, because I'm using them in battle, and some of those are campaign things. Cleansing Ruin. Just triangulation. Oh, he has more skill points. What am I doing? Alright, triangulation. Gorich, I guess, also has 2 skill points. Nope, just 1. Let's do some thick-skinned. Alright, let's take a look at our objectives. These, I think at least one of those counts towards my objective. Yep. So now we're 10 of 12. We could just hit, like, Talabheim and Brass Keep, right? And then we've got enough. The Empire is going to get its revenge on us over here. Volkmar coming up with the Emperor's Wrath. Boy, he's mad. Look at this.
Do not take
Franz is here. Yeah, the Empire is... They're feeling upset.
Master Engineer!
They are not happy about what I've been doing to them. I think I'm just going to stay here. Like, I'm going to stay here and stand my ground. I don't think Chaos can do much about it. I don't think they can. Alright, Splinter. Let's see here. Fleet-footed, so he's an assassin. Well, Fleet-footed is not going to hurt anything. Help him get around the battlefield even faster. Since they don't have a mount, you know. Patchy. Cannot get Arcane Conduit yet. Okay. Research. Protective gear. Let's do that. Vostra's not worth doing any work on right now. We're about to get swatted over here. Kislev and the Empire are about to lay a real big beating on me over in that vicinity. Let's see, campaign objectives. We are working on a short campaign victory. So I need to... They ran? I mean, they're smart to run over the long run, but I'm pretty sure that they had an easy kill there at Prague if they wanted it. So, interesting that they ran. Are they fleeing ahead of Chaos, maybe?
Fight die for me.
I don't know. It's an odd one. Alright.
Master Lord of Hell Pit.
Head up here towards Brass Keep. That'll help us get to our campaign objective. They left an army here to hold me in. And again, it's giving them really excellent chances. And they have no such chances. Like, they had a better army last time. They're going to get beat even harder this time. It's liquid warpstone. It's delicious. Everybody always talks about like these energy drinks and all that kind of stuff where they mix in the powder. No, you just powder the warpstone, mix it into your water. Boom, good to go. They always have a hell cannon. I hate hell cannons. Like, hate them. A lot. Let's see, well, one of my hell pits is a little bit trashed. I'm gonna leave it back to do some healing to start with. Put these ones up here.
Ready, steady, kill!
Ready, steady, kill. I like it.
For the vermin time. Clan rats.
I'm gonna just do kind of like a little Skaven loot box back here.
Poisoned wind mortar.
I'm gonna use my single entity monsters to hopefully draw fire and lure the enemy in. There we go.
Poisoned with mortar. Warlock Gazelles.
Okay. Here we go. Start the battle. Let's see if we can draw some Hell Cannon fire here. Lure their army forward and lure it into mortar range. Sometimes the Hell Cannon will shoot at you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes the AI is too stupid and they're just like busy repositioning it, otherwise they would keep shooting at you. Hair, what's your take on NHL, like National Hockey League? I don't watch hockey. That would be my take on hockey. Sorry, it's not much of a take, but that's all I've got.
Warlock Master.
I watch college football. That's about it. Wow, they are in range already. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Take out those Chaos Knight things. Mortars. We'll have better targets soon. Get out here and get in the way of these Chaos Knights. I'm gonna start sniping their Moulder. And then mortars. Got some good shots there. Start targeting this. Target a few more here. Spread some love over there. We got all of our reinforcements. I don't think I'll need them, but let's pull them over here. Oh, the mortars are so lovely.
Warlock Master.
Did we snipe the enemy general? No, I'm attempting to. At least I attempted to. I don't think it's worked yet. Shoot him. Right. Summon up some stuff here. We don't have cellular instability, unfortunately, on any of these units. Let's send some infantry up. Some Clan Vulcan tail slashers. Alright, Jezzails are a little too close for comfort. Let's fall back. Alright, mortars. Can you guys clean some stuff up here for me?
Like things dead.
I actually don't want to warp bomb any of these units. I just need my mortars to clean up this fight out here. Or some of that stuff. Okay, my other hell pit should be rested up, ready for duty. And the Chaos Warriors should be about to chain route. Let's get some of these units out of this fight before they die. Come drop the hell pit up in here. How are any of these units still living? I'm really kind of shocked that Chaos is still resisting. There we go. So I'm gonna say this fight really is quite over. Still firing, like they're like completely engaged with a clan rat. Alright, there we go, we did it. A little bit uglier than last time, but job complete. Crimson Tide. Ugh. I just want to remind the Crimson Tide of something. The last 4 games against Oklahoma, you've lost 3 of them. You got 2018. I'll credit you that. You took 2018 from us. It was a terrible start to the game, but I was still pretty happy that we racked up over 500 yards on that vaunted SEC defense, even in the loss.
My plan scheme's always best.
But you know, the last 4 games with the Tide is 3 and 1 for Oklahoma, so I'll take it. Granted, 2 of those games were quite a long time ago, but nah, the Crimson Tide are a good team, obviously. It's hard to argue otherwise. They've proved that over and over again. I do like me some college football.
Warlord soon.
I do like me some college football.
Warlock, master of Scryer.
Alright, we got some mutagen. Good. I want some cellular instabilities.
All hail, horned rat.
I think we've got cellular instability on a lot of these. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know why. I've always liked college football a whole lot. It's fun to watch. I watched Alabama and Ohio State play the other night. Kind of expected that Alabama would win, but I was thinking Ohio State was going to give them a better game than that. Let's see.
Crossbreed. Transplant.
Alright, this army is mostly exploding rats now. Oh man, we're only 2 mutagen short of getting this last one. So we're mostly exploding rats in this army. Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. SEC best conference hands down. I do not agree, Crimson Gaming. I think that Alabama is the best team in college football fairly consistently, hands down, but I do not agree that the SEC is the best hands down. I mean, look what Oklahoma did to Florida this year. And Georgia had, like, what, the number 1 or number 2 defense in 2017, and Oklahoma racked up 500 and something yards on them, and honestly, they squeaked out of it in overtime.
You will fight.
Oklahoma racked up over 500 yards on Bama in 2018.
Battle fight.
And those are the best teams in the SEC, right? And I disagree. Kentucky is not good at football. Vanderbilt is not good at football. Arkansas is not good at football. Let's see. I'm going to keep going down the list here. I mean, there's a bunch of other teams there. That LSU was bad at football this year. Like, I can name a whole bunch more. Like, I think SEC is the best conference in terms of they've won the most titles, but if we're being honest, Alabama is winning those titles. Yes, occasionally another team is winning them, but it's really Alabama that's pulling home those titles. Like, the SEC is riding on the back of Alabama. Georgia kind of has an Oklahoma problem in the sense that they perennially underperform what they should. It's like they should do good, they should do all these things, except Georgia should be better than Oklahoma all the time because they're getting better recruiting classes. But then they never go beat Alabama. Like, they lose to Alabama every time they play them. You know what I mean? Like, it's like they just cannot pull out the big win they need to make a statement. You know, so don't get me wrong, the SEC is a good conference. I don't think they're a bad conference by any means, but I just don't think that they're the best from top to bottom. I think that Alabama is really good. I think that SEC number 2 team is pretty good. And outside of that, I don't think they're that good. So I'm not sold on it. I think they're about the same as any other conference once you start working your way down. Now, they could get better. They've got some up-and-coming coaches and stuff. I think both Mississippi teams have the opportunity to be quite a bit better over the next couple of years. So I definitely think they have the capability of becoming a lot more stacked conference top to bottom over the next few years. But I don't think they're there right now. I think it's mostly Alabama. Let's see here. These giants are going to be a little bit of a problem. These giants, yeah, they could be a little bit of a problem. But yeah, definitely not here saying like, oh, SEC sucks. No, they don't. There's a lot of good football teams there, obviously. There's a lot of good talent coming out of there. I love how the explosions kill my own units too. It's very appropriate. This is hilarious. This is hilarious. Oops, hold on. I don't even care if this army dies, honestly. Like, I'd like to win the battle, clearly. That is funny, man. All those explosions, that is good stuff. Like, top to bottom, that is hilarious. Plus, it seems like it's hurting all my own units, too, which is just very scathing. Yeah, it's definitely hurting my own units, right? That's hilarious. CA, please, more of this. That's some funny stuff. That cellular instability is worth every penny. Little warp bomb for their trouble over here. Oh man. Oh, this is good. This is good. How'd you all like that? Have a good night, Nick. Thanks for joining in. Oh, that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Alright, the exploding army was a smashing success, folks. Great suggestion. Absolutely great suggestion. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Oh, man. All the explosions. Oh, that was good. Cellular instability is the best on single entity monsters. Damage seems to be per unit. Okay.
Thanks to my,
Good to know.
plan. Victory!
Well, we'll have to replace a brood horror and some rat ogres.
Feed them warpstone and release.
That was funny. That was funny.
Better than Thankwall, yes.
Oh, what? And we don't have any more of the critters we need.
Let the bells scream.
That's the saddest thing ever. That's the saddest thing ever. Alright, I need a brood horror. 4 turns! And we need more brood horrors, honestly, if we're gonna be doing this. We're gonna have to replenish some anyway. I mean, heck, we're gonna be waiting 4 turns. I might as well get some of these, big boys, too. There we go. All right, man, that was some good stuff right there. That just seems like some very classic Skaven action there.
No.
All right, these guys are gonna come get in here and be annoying, but I mean, we have decent defenses.
SN9 mortal.
I'm a Skaven, but I don't know. Refer to me however you wish, I guess. Can't get at the man-things yet over there. Let's see. Skit's the Mutinator. Let's get with some Faux Sika. Patchy can get his Arcane Conduit. Appius the Radius. Let's see, Plague Rash, Vermintide. Ooh, a summon? Yes, please. More summons, more better. That battle was fun. That was entertaining. Like, that was entertaining. That's the kind of DLC that I can live with right there. Alright, we're trying to defend Shrek's Swamp, and let's be honest. This is not the kind of defense that we're going to want to be fighting here, I don't think. We're going to get shredded by Volkmar. Like, we're going to get absolutely owned in this battle. There's no way I can handle this heavy cavalry, a tank, and Volkmar. So, not wasting my time with that. Get out of my swamp, Volkmar. Kamikaze Skaven, yeah, I'm glad you all enjoyed that one. It was fun. That was good. Alright, here we go. Replenishing, recruiting, send him packing. Patchy's ready for business. Got an ambush here. Eat the captives. And I'm gonna move this way, so that way we can come take care of them. Brass Keep. They have rockets. They have rockets. Good for them. No equipment available because it's only available for walled settlements. Let's get some extra summons because we got a lot of food. And let's fight this. See if we can kill these guys. How long have I been streaming? So I started right at 8, so about an hour. Okay, we're doing good. I think we're on schedule. I think we can still finish this. I gotta check the Flesh Laboratory, see how many more turns before we get something there. I was talking about football earlier. What kind of stuff do you all like to watch? If there's other sports here, what do you, I mean, I say football. For those of you not from America, American football, obviously, is what we were discussing. But what are you all into? If it's not sports, that's fine too. What kind of stuff do you like to watch? Honestly, I kind of get tired of TV quite a bit, which is another reason why I was super excited to pick up the Games Workshop models. Watch hockey, that's cool. Hockey seems like a tough sport. Like, one that requires a lot of physical toughness and a lot of skill. So I got respect. Like, I don't like watching hockey, but man, I seriously respect that. Football with feet. They use their feet in football. The punter kicks the ball, the kicker kicks the ball. You're just also, you know, allowed to touch it with your hands. Go Blue Jackets. Don't watch sports. Yeah, I don't, outside of college football, I don't watch any sports either, Blake. Not of a whole lot of interest to me outside of that. And really the only reason I watch college sports at all is because I grew up in Oklahoma, and you watch college football when you grow up. That's what you do. You learn to watch it. It is taught to you. Let's see, is Wargamer a sport? Sure. Games are a sport. I'm down with that. A lot of people like to make fun of video games, and that's not a real sport. Yeah, whatever. Sure, it's not a traditional physical sport, but whatever. It's a sport. Why not? I mean, you can make up all kinds of different sports, right? No, I'm not into NFL. I'll watch Baker Mayfield play every now and then because he was a Sooner quarterback that I really like from Oklahoma. But outside of that, nah, just not really into NFL. I don't find it near as exciting as college football. But I can see why people like it. Even though it's not for me, like I can totally see why people like it. Push my rocket up into here. Get an attack order going. Alright. Perfect. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Bring most of these units back down in here. I'll move up here with these. Start taking out some of these guns behind us. Let's see, my family liked Kansas football. Never got into it myself, dude. If you're watching Kansas football, I also got respect for that because Kansas struggles at football, like a lot. So if you're a fan, you go root for your team even when they're struggling like that. Again, that takes some dedication and respect. I respect it. They were a better fan than myself at that point because if my team was struggling like that, I don't think I could do it. Let's see. Esports is huge. Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, of course it is. It's bigger outside of the United States, but even in the States, it's pretty big. Like, I went from, like, when I was young, it's not like I was going to get beat up in the hallway over it or something, but, like, for me to play games the way I did when I was young, I was considered nerdy for that, right? And the guys who did more sports, like, and I played sports, I did golf, I ran some cross-country, stuff like that, it was okay. But the guys who played, like, football and other stuff, that was not nerdy, right? That was the manly thing to do, and that's fine. Like, it's cool. I don't have any problem with it. I used to like going to the football games, you know. Yeah, it was a good time, but it was definitely not, like, looked upon as like, oh, that's great, which is funny because nowadays, tell people you play games, like, oh yeah, really, everybody plays games. Like, I can be at work, and my vice president that I'm talking to is a dude that's older than me too, by like probably 11 or 12 years. And, you know, he found out that I had a YouTube channel. He's like, oh, really? He's like, what kind of games you play? And he told me, and then he tells me he plays Call of Duty. And I'm like, wow. Never would have thought my 50-something-year-old, like, uber professional VP, former military guy, like, would be playing. There he is. He's playing Call of Duty. He has fun with it. Like, so, I mean, it's just, like, totally a norm these days. Like, I think it's really cool, like, how it's gone from, like, not like a bad fringe, not, like, made fun of fringe, but, like, well, it was a little made fun of, but, you know, it was more of a fringe activity to now it's, like, totally normal. And I love that. There's nothing wrong with it, right? I think it's a fun activity. I think it takes a lot of bad rap sometimes that it doesn't deserve. Because, like, some people be like, oh, people are really addicted to games. Well, I mean, people are really addicted to a lot of things. In fact, there's just about anything in life that you can do too much of and get addicted to it, right? Like sports, for that matter. You can get addicted and spend too much time on sports. So because people, I think that's mostly what they'll associate the downsides of, like, oh, video games, they're violent, and people get addicted to them. Yeah, well, people get addicted to a lot of things. I don't think it's unique to video games. I don't think it's unique to them. Do people have problems with video games sometimes? Sure. But like I said, people have problems with a lot of things. Hawkland jumped to the charts. Yeah, I'm assuming Hawkland is really moving up there. Killscribe. I'm addicted to kill lists. Yeah. See, I think it's kind of cool, in my opinion, to kind of like, so like, for instance, when I first heard about Warhammer, people were saying, oh, there should be a Warhammer Total War, and people told me what it is, like, oh, it's like a tabletop game where you paint these little models. Yeah, you paint them and then you play, and I was like, that doesn't sound very fun. You know, and I was like, you know, that seems kind of odd. Like, what a weird thing. Here I am. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? So, like, if you if you go too hard on something and don't give it a chance, you might miss out on something that you enjoy. And boy, I would be missing out had I not given Warhammer a chance. So,
Twist, bend, mangle.
you know, it's kind of cliched, but you know, that whole open mind thing is some good advice. Some good advice.
Bad rat. Best as parts. Now me feast gorge on thing corpses.
Feast gorge on thing corpses. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I enjoy a lot of things, really, like just as pastimes. Like, tell me this isn't weird. I'm painting Warhammer figurines. I love shotgun shooting and bird hunting. I love riding a mountain bike. I love going kayak fishing in the summertime. I like swimming. I like camping. I love video games. I like building computers. Like, my enjoy stuff is just like all over the board. It's like all over the board. And so, I don't know. Like, I think I kind of thrive on variety. Some people don't. But like, I feel like I kind of thrive on variety. I don't like everything, but I think it's funny that like some of my interests are like very outdoorsy, very traditional. Some of them are very non-traditional and more indoors. Like, it's nice to have different stuff to do. Like, I really enjoy it. I even like cooking. Like, I've been doing all this stuff with the smoker recently, and Mrs. Air will be like, I'm trying to help with dinner. It's like, no, I want to cook. I like cooking. Like, 'cause I don't know, I like to cook. I like to learn how to cook. I don't know why in the world, you know, but whatever. It's just fun. I thought kayaks were made and not caught. Not fishing for kayaks, I should have clarified. Fishing from a kayak. But if I could go to the lake and catch some kayaks, that would be a very lucrative business. You know, I could come back and sell them. Make a little cash. Cooking is fun. It's fun to learn. I just wish that when I was younger, like while my great-grandmother was still alive, that I would have like taken some time to learn some cooking from her, because I would have learned some really good stuff. She could cook. She could cook. I mean, when she grew up, bear in mind, my great-grandmother, she was alive until I was probably 20 years old or more, probably a little older than 20. And she was born in 1907. October 1907 in Indian Territory, which of course is now Oklahoma. I think she was born 1 month before Oklahoma became a state. And man, she could cook. Because of course when she was a kid, you know, they had to make everything from scratch. And I wish I would have learned more from her. I mean, I did. I talked to her a lot, and I got to learn a lot from her. And honestly, for anybody to get to spend almost 20 years with a great-grandparent is almost unheard of. Like, you know, I was extremely lucky, and she lived a very long life. I think she was like 96 or something when she died. But, you know, I wish I would have learned even more from her.
Fight them! Yes, yes!
So it was neat. It was neat to get to learn from her. Not very often you get to, like, you know, kind of hear stories from someone who lived through stuff like the Great Depression and World War I and World War II, like everything. Spanish flu, like all of it. She lived through all of that. It was pretty awesome to get to talk to her.
Scamper, scurry.
Do Skaven fish? I don't know, that's a good question. I mean, you would think rats would like, you know, some stinky rotten fish and stuff like that, but I don't know. Do Skaven fish? I learned to cook and bake from my mom, and my wife taught me how to cook Indian food. Oh man, you're lucky, Trantor. I've only gotten to eat Indian food a couple of times, and I liked it a lot. There's actually a pretty large population of folks from India here in the town where I live, like relatively speaking. And there's quite a few Indian restaurants, and I've gotten to go eat at a few now. Teach history in college, urge my students to find the eldest relative and just listen to him. Yeah, exactly. You can learn a lot of cool stuff, like listening to people. Like, here's a story. This is an interesting story to, like, to me was always put some interesting perspective for me. I remember being, I think we were about 16 years old, and my buddy John, his grandpa had served in World War II, and we had gotten to talk to him, and his grandpa had lied about his age and joined the Navy, I think, when he was, like, he's a really big kid. I think he joined the Navy when he was, like, 16 years old, or 17, something like that. Lied, got in. You know, of course, he's on an aircraft carrier peeling potatoes in the Pacific, right? And, well, they start getting attacked by kamikazes just over and over and over again. People were dying from the attacks, and eventually the people who were just originally, like, doing stuff like peeling the potatoes are peeling potatoes, and then as soon as the alarms go off, they go up and get an anti-aircraft gun and start shooting. So anyways, 17 years old, and he's spending, you know, his 17th year, you know, surviving, putting out fires on a ship, shooting down airplanes that are trying to suicide it. And I was just like, how did that have to feel? Like, knowing that, you know, hey, I may be alive later today, I may not. I may be floating somewhere randomly in the Pacific Ocean, trying to not get eaten by sharks or something like that. I mean, that is incredible. Like, it's insane. Goes through all of that, comes home, gets married, raises a family, goes back to normal life. And I'm like, I mean, that's, wow. Like, that's crazy. And it was impressive. And it's not just war veterans. Like, my great-grandmother was not a war veteran, but I still, like, she taught me all about, like, saving money, because she grew up during the Depression, and she would talk about the things they would have to do to save money. And she had a really interesting story that she told me once, my great-grandmother did. I guess when she was fairly little was when, you know, there was, I mean, she wasn't, like, real little, or no, hang on. So the Great Depression started in, like, I think it was with the stock market crash in 29. So no, this was my grandmother. Sorry, this was my grandmother. She's the daughter of the great-grandmother that I referenced. She was telling me, I guess, about how her father, they were walking around and she saw, like, they were lucky. Her dad had managed to keep work during the Depression, which was pretty fortunate. And she was walking through town and she saw someone sweeping the streets for money. And she said she started to kind of make fun of him, like, oh, you know, what kind of job is that to sweep the street? And I guess she said her dad grabbed her and, like, kind of pulled her aside, and he looks at her and he's like, hey, see that person sweeping the street? They're sweeping the street and they're earning money the only way they can earn money. and you're like, and for that, you know, they deserve, you know, the respect and admiration. And not only that, he's like, whatever job you have, you do it the best you can do. And so that kind of stuck with her. And then she always taught us that kind of thing. She's like, no matter what your job is, like, if you're being a restaurant waiter or whatever it is, like, you do it the best you can do, and you be proud of that job. And you know, it's just like, it's kind of interesting, you know, because her dad was doing better than most people at the time, and totally could have, you know, joined in, like, kind of mocking someone there. And you know, it's kind of neat to hear that was a lesson. And you know, she taught me a lot. Like, I learned a lot about how to save money and do some stuff for my grandmother. So again, I definitely agree with what was said earlier by, is it CC Creasman or whatever it is, says I teach history and encourage people to go find the elderly and listen. Exactly, you should. You should.
Clan, eat well now.
You can learn some neat stuff.
Eat it thing now.
Couldn't agree more.
It's alive.
Let's see. Let's see. Hey, I appreciate you all being on the stream. I'm just sitting here, like, rambling on about different stuff. Hopefully I don't pester you all, talking the way I do. This is fun. I like being here. I like streaming. I hope y'all are enjoying it. It's the most important thing. Hopefully you're having a good time.
Good fight, good harvest. Yes.
Let's see. Do you think we can teach these principles to the Skaven? The Skaven exercise these principles, but in a different fashion, different manner that they exercise them. I'm gonna take this army out and then go clean up the Empire troops.
They will die! Zap! Kill for Scryer!
Oh, we almost lost Ratcardo.
Slaves for the meat
It's been a very sad day. Let's head back this way. Alright. Is Carrick Drain on their side?
Urks, talk fast. For you
No.
are my enemy.
What am I thinking? They never would have agreed to do anything with Skaven. I'm thinking of a different campaign. I was thinking of my Dryka campaign. Shogun 2 campaign next? Yes, that is correct, Oliver. Probably a Tomo. But I'm not dead set on it yet, but probably a Tomo. For the Portuguese Tercos. Ooh, 6,960 Warriors of Chaos dead. Then I found Warhammer models, so all that money savings goes out the window. Yeah, that's kind of true, Regina. That's kind of true. Here's the good thing, though, is that fortunately for me, like, so here's another funny, like, if y'all want to hear another good life story, here's a good life story with some lessons that I'm embarrassed of, but glad for. So I'll tell you all this one, and like I said, be somewhat embarrassed over it. When I was in my senior year of college, I'd been married. So I've been married twice. I don't know if I've ever even said that on here, but I've been married twice. I was married fairly young first time, and I was very happy, having a good time. And my first wife, like, just for whatever reason, decided she did not want to be married anymore, and things went south when I was a senior in college, right when I was trying to go through all of these tests and everything, and threw me into this real big emotional loop. It was bad. It was really rough. Like, it was rough. And I was going through all that, and just kind of thinking, woe is me all the time, which, I don't feel that way anymore, obviously. But anyway, I'm going through all that stuff, and I was not in a good state of mind. I got out of college. Before my first wife had left, she had racked up some debt that I ended up getting stuck with. And I was stuck with that debt. I got a good job right out of college, so I was very fortunate. I got a really good job. But I just wasn't saving money. I spent my money on an Xbox, got an apartment that I shouldn't have, stuff like that. Went and bought a new car I shouldn't have gotten. And just doing all this stuff, and then I, wasn't taking care of the money the right way. And I was lonely, bad. I was real lonely. I didn't want to be alone. And all of a sudden, I start dating the current Mrs. Air, and it's kind of funny, like, cause not far into the whole thing, it became obvious. Like, I mean, even just a couple of weeks after we started dating each other, I was like, man, I think we're gonna get married. And then that realization that I had been terribly irresponsible financially. I was like, I can't afford a wedding. I can't afford to do the things that I should be able to do. I felt so stupid. Mrs. Air is working an hourly job as a bank teller, and I've got a salaried management position, and she's got more money in the bank than me. I felt so embarrassed. Like, I was so embarrassed, and she came over one night, and we were spending time together, and I told myself, I was like, all right, I've got to be honest. I've got to tell her the truth. And so I sat down with her, and I said, it's like, look, it's like, here's the things. I got stuck with this debt. I could have paid it off. I've been stupid. I did some things I didn't need to, so I'm not in a good financial position. It's like, it can be fixed. I'm going to fix it. And I feel terrible, and I told her, I was like, if this upsets you, you don't want to be with me or something, that's fine. I understand. I was like, I was gonna be honest with her. And I told her, and of course she didn't care, like, because obviously she wasn't seeing me over money, thank goodness. And she's like, no, of course I don't care. She's like, whatever. And so I straightened up my act pretty fast, like, got things together, paid off the debt, started saving money. We eventually got to buy a house together because of it. So I'm very grateful for Mrs. Air coming along and fixing many problems for me. First and foremost, the loneliness, but then of course my terrible taking care of money and other stuff. So yeah, it was. Now fortunately, you see, I'm in good position now because I listened to her, and got myself into a better position. I now have plenty, and we're doing fine. And of course, everything can go south in a minute. So I'm not saying we're safe forever, but just
mighty
it's.
Lord, the
It is
fates
what it
have
is.
surely selected you for greatness. Thanks to my guidance, your tremendous power grows, as if driven by some divine power.
So yeah,
Your
I owe her a
enemies
lot.
tremble before you.
I owe her a lot. She's great.
Drop of this slice of
Learning
that.
so much about her today. There we go. We won, people. We won the campaign. I might stick around and fight a couple more battles though, because we have a little more time left. But yeah, I felt terrible. Like I really felt bad. Yeah, all right. You all can tell me. Just it's okay if you say air stop, okay? But if you all want to hear another funny story about when Mrs. Air and I were dating too, it's a funny one. So it's up to you. I'll let you all tell me whether or not you want to hear it. I won't pester you with it, but it's a funny one. It's not quite as sappy. It's more humorous. It's much more humorous. But it was another one that embarrassed me a lot, and it was funny. All right, I'm gonna continue the campaign for just a bit. But we did win it. But let's continue it. Take care of a couple of loose ends here for the next 30 or so minutes.
Feed me.
Okay, all right, here it is. It sounds like you all want to hear it. All right. So, again, I was crazy lonely, living in my little apartment. I played Halo all the time because it was like the only thing I could do to like take my mind off of like the fact that I was ridiculously lonely. And of course, I did not expect that girls would want to date me because I felt like, I know it's bad and this isn't true, so don't take this the way it is, but I was in a bad mentality. Like I felt like I was used. I was no good, right? I was coming out of a divorce. No girl's ever gonna believe me about what happened. They won't want to be with me because they'll think it was me, and like I caused all this stuff. And like so anyway, I was totally in this mindset. And I knew Mrs. Air already, and we would occasionally do things together as friends, and then obviously, I realized at some point that, she liked me, and, eventually I finally made the intelligent decision, of taking her on a date, and, I didn't realize, though, how much she liked me, right? I kind of felt like I liked her, but, I didn't know that she would like me like that, and so, kind of funny story. My mom was going to come up and visit. My apartment was a wreck. I needed to clean it, and I, being the typical kind of guy, the lonely guy who's not very well motivated, even though I needed, and she was like, hey, we should go do something tonight. And I told her, I was like, well, my apartment's an absolute wreck. I need to clean it because my mom's coming up. She's like, oh, okay. She's like, I can help if you want. I was like, no, don't worry about it. And I told her, I'll take care of it because it's just boring stuff. And of course, I would have rather, spent some time with her that night. And anyway, I procrastinated. I was like, I really need to clean up, but let's go play some games of Halo. And so I start playing some Halo, and then I procrastinate longer. And of course, eventually I was gonna actually clean up. It was probably gonna be like midnight, but I was gonna clean up the apartment. But here it comes around like 8 o'clock at night, and there's a knock at the door, and I'm like, what? Who in the world? Like, because no one comes to my door, right? Like, I go to work, I come home, I make videos, right? That's all I did back then. And it's like, who's knocking on my door? And I go to the door, it's Mrs. Air. And here I am, wearing the headset, playing the Xbox. And I was just, like, I was standing there just stupefied. Like, I was stupefied for a couple reasons. One, because I felt like an absolute and utter jerk, because she's gonna think that I stayed home because I like playing games more than spending time with her, when in reality I was just procrastinating the cleaning. And I felt so bad. Like, I felt absolutely terrible. And she could see it in the look on my face. She knew that I was just, like, mortified. And she had made cookies for me, too. She had this plate of cookies in her hand and everything. And she liked me. She came over with a plate of cookies, came over to help me, and here I am looking like that. And I felt absolutely terrible. And she, being the sweet person that she is, kind of just laughed it off, like, right? She didn't take it for anything else, which I'm so glad, because I really did not mean it as anything else. It was just me being stupid. And so I had her come in, and she kept me company. I wouldn't let her clean, though, because I was so embarrassed of, of what I should have been doing. I refused to let her help me clean, but she sat there and, like, kind of kept me company, and it was really nice, and she never held it against me, and she teases me about it to this day, and she should. I felt so stupid. It was really stupid. I'm so lucky that she didn't just, like, walk out on me or something in that position. Like, I would have deserved it. I would have deserved it, but Mrs. Eyre obviously had a soft spot for me, thank goodness. So, thank goodness. So now you all know why I say that she's great. She's more than I deserve. It was nice of her to be understanding. Because it really wasn't about me not wanting to see her. Like, it was like I needed to do something, and then I'm a guy, we get sidetracked. Sometimes we procrastinate things. Like, that's all it was to it. But anyway, there you go. Funny story. Don't do that, by the way, people. Don't do what I did. Oh, it hurts. It hurts so bad. Don't shoot the brood horror. Yeah, the co-op campaign with Mrs. Eyre is going to be great. I'm really looking forward to it. That was gruesome. I don't think we can disrupt this thing in time. Let's see who gets shot next. Yeah, okay, they shot an infantry in it. Does Eyre have ADHD? No, I don't. But I can certainly get sidetracked quickly. I do not have ADHD to my awareness, but yeah, I can certainly get sidetracked quickly.
Fight attack! Doom and destruction.
I need my Giselles to shoot Mr. Franz.
Poison, wind, water. What? I die. With purpose, snake.
Anyway, there you go. You guys got some Eyre stories. Sorry that you had to listen to all that. No one wants to launch into something they don't want to do. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I felt so stupid. Like I had never felt so stupid for what I did. Cause I love doing stuff with Mrs. Eyre. Like honestly, when we started dating, I think after that, I mean, we spent we did something together every day because we were lucky. We lived close to each other, so we could basically just hang out every night, and we did.
What rats will? Ready. Council's command.
I'm gonna let my most of my forces just kind of suicide attack over here. Don't apologize. The stories are great. Well, I hope they're not. I hope they're not too eye-wateringly bad.
Doing it! Guide us, Horned One.
Hey, we're having some good times as the Skaven tonight. Look at this.
Back at the crowd! Turn my own Stop it! The lust of fear! Just die! Scalper, go!
Yeah, I figured you all might like that. Here's some humorous stories about some of the not so smart things that Eyre has done in the past. There we go. There we go. We got an unbreakable, yeah, Carrowbird greatsword here. I was like, what in the world are we still fighting?
Shriek, shriek!
The kill the Carrowbird greatswords here.
Poison with water. Yes, yes. Retreat, retreat.
These stories have my consent. Yeah.
What? Now, ready, now. Now, go.
This will be 9 years this year. Or hang on, no. Yeah, this will be 9 years this year that Mrs. Air and I have been married. So that was about 10 years ago. The story I was telling you there. Roughly 10 years ago. Hey Blake, thanks for being here tonight. And I've been making YouTube videos for a couple years longer than that. I think about 11 years or so I've been making YouTube videos. 11 or 12 years, somewhere in there. Thanks for joining up tonight, Blake. We're just about finished here. I was just wrapping up a couple of battles. How old's the channel? Yeah, roughly that age. 11 or 12, somewhere in there. I can't remember the exact time that I started it. I was still in college.
Fight me. You die, see?
If I had to just venture a guess at it, I would say probably 2008 or 9 that the first video went up. Be my guess. Somewhere around that time frame.
More kills, more power.
2008 or 9, I think, roughly.
Me hope it. Warlock, master of Scryer. Hope it bigger than Gorage thing.
Hope it bigger than Gorage thing.
For science!
Alright, there we go. Got some cellular instability. Ooh, Reichland, man, they're eating some kills. 11,763. Yeah, Reichland is eating it. Air, how long do you think I'll have to wait to see a 3090 in stock? Dude, I don't know, it's a mess. I love computer building, and this has been one of the most depressing strings for me. Partly because I'm too much of a snob, and I try and get fancier stuff than I should. I don't need to upgrade my computer right now. I want to upgrade it. Right, it's a want. It is most definitely not a need. But I've been so used to, like, because of MSI spoiling me with the sponsorship, I've been used to getting this stuff. And, you know, I'm not complaining like that this is a real issue. You know, it's not like an actual real big issue. But, you know, it's just been frustrating because it's like, man, I really want to get this new stuff. I have no idea when this stuff's going to come in stock. I mean, you've got a couple of big problems in my mind. One, Bitcoin mining is coming back, which means that all these graphics cards are going to be very valuable to people who are going to mine crypto. And then two, people have turned to gaming like never before because they're stuck at home because of the pandemic this year, right? So they're stuck at home. They're going to turn to gaming, and they have turned to gaming. And so now there's a huge demand. And then you pile on top of that NVIDIA switches over to a Samsung manufacturing, which they shouldn't have done. I don't think Samsung is doing great at probably keeping up with supply, but let's assume that even they are for a minute. Now you've got other problems, which is, now is the age of the scalper. I know people are going to want this stuff, and they're all stuck at home. It's like fish in a barrel, so I'm going to write a bot, and I'm going to scalp this stuff. I'm going to buy it all up with my bot, and then sell it back to you at exorbitant prices. None of the retailers here in the States are doing anything about it. Like, they just don't care. Like, they haven't even so much as put a CAPTCHA. Not to mention, like, having an actual queue or some verification system. They don't give rats. Like, they just do not care. And so every card that comes in stock in the States goes out of stock in less than 10 seconds. Like, you will not get it. Even if you're there in the first 10 seconds, you're probably still not going to get it. Like, and so it is an absolute disaster right now. And with the fact that the scalpers just keep buying everything that comes into stock, not everybody who's getting stuff is a scalper, but a lot of them are, right? And it just, like, it happens every time the cards come back into stock. And so it is a really big problem. And they just keep doing it because people are desperate. And so some people go pay the scalpers, and it keeps working. You know, the retail establishments aren't stopping them. So they're just going to keep doing it. That's exactly what they're doing, is that they just keep doing it. They're going to keep scalping stuff. And so I think all of that combined, like you have extraordinary demand. You have, because of the pandemic, there's like extraordinary demand on the equipment that people are manufacturing right now. You've got the scalpers, you've got the crypto mining, you've got all of this combining for like the perfect storm of crap. It's the perfect storm of what you don't want to happen to computer parts. That's as best I understand it. I don't think any time in this quarter you're gonna see that stuff come in stock. Not in the US. I think it's gonna be probably quarter 2 or later before you start seeing that stuff just sitting in stock in the US. All I can ask of you people is do not buy stuff from scalpers. Please, for the love of goodness. Like, I have enough money, I could go buy a card from a scalper. I'm not doing it. You shouldn't either. If you do, it's your money. You know, I can't stop you. I'm not gonna yell at someone, but just don't do it. Don't do it. Like, don't feed the scalpers, please. And then on top of all this, the computer parts situation's even worse because AMD, who also brought out a lot of good stuff recently, AMD is also trying to produce consoles. And so they have focused a lot of their effort on producing consoles because PS5 and Xbox both are full of AMD components. So it's a perfect storm again with that on there. So like most of AMD's manufacturing capacity is going to consoles because their desktop stuff is also the same that they use in the consoles. Awesome-tastic, thanks for the 10. He says, here, Eric, you're a great guy, happy to catch the live stream. Well, thank you for the 10, Awesome-tastic. I don't know that I'm any better of a person than any of you are. Thank you, appreciate it. But I certainly love being here with you all. I love streaming, making videos. 11, 12 years, I don't even know how many years it's been. But that's in a good way, right? I'm certainly happy to be doing this stuff. Still love it. Thank you for being here, Awesome-tastic. Can you all help me give him some love in the chat, please? Thank you for supporting. Very much appreciated. Some demigriffs. Oof, they do have a rocket battery, and I only brought one summon. I should have brought more summons. So say, Air, you should do a campaign with the persistent summons mod. Ooh, that would be fun. I might do that. That would be fun. I'm gonna try and shatter these units back here. What's this handgun unit doing over here? Okay, shatter, shatter, shatter. HeirofCarthage YouTube takes such a big share of your donos. Pretty much everybody does. Most places do. I think Patreon probably takes the least. But I don't really push Patreon. I don't push donations in general. I mean, if someone's kind enough, they give it to me. Obviously, I'm going to thank them. And I very much appreciate it from like Awesome-tastic and stuff. But I don't go out like actively asking people to go support me on Patreon anymore because financially, like, I don't need it. I'm okay. And some people might say, well, Eric, you can't ever be a success if you don't just go for it. Because, like some part of me, would I love to do this full time? Absolutely. I'd love to do videos full time. But, I'm not going to go asking people for money when I can earn what I need. You know what I mean? If people support, that's fine. But I'm certainly not going to go ask for money. If you all want to help me, you don't have to give me money. Just, simple things. Be subscribed. If you like the video, like it. Watch the content. Just enjoy it, right? You don't have to throw money at me to help me be successful on here. And honestly, just being here and helping me have fun is a big deal, right? Just help me have fun with this. Come enjoy some games with me. I never started this channel with the intent of making money on it. It was a very, very fortunate byproduct of me starting this channel. So since I didn't start it with the intent or need to make money, I try not to run it that way. it certainly helps justify my continued, you know, having of a YouTube channel, but again, it's not necessary. But again, thank you, Awesome-tastic. It's very kind of you. Typically what I do with the money that people donate, obviously I try and save most of my YouTube money and put it to use, like on something for my family. Like for instance, YouTube, I saved most of the money that I made on YouTube, and I used it to help when I needed to buy a home for my family. Whenever I get the money now, like I save a certain portion of it to make sure that I can purchase the equipment that I'll need, like computer parts, you know, webcams, anything I'm gonna need to make videos. And otherwise, I have like a set amount of my YouTube money that I just put in savings every month, so that I have a way to take care of things in case the worst should happen, and like I lose a job or something. That rocket is going to really make our day miserable. Yeah, that rocket is gonna really make us miserable. It's okay if we lose some units here. This is towards the end of the campaign anyway. Not that big of a deal. Just have ourselves a big fun battle here. I'm gonna actually take this guy and run way back here. Actually, I don't know if I can get to those rockets still, unfortunately. We're gonna need to chain route the Empire army. Let's just get our mortars to mop this stuff up over here. Let's take our single entity rat pack and just go start pummeling our way through the Empire here. So like even right now, maybe just to like kind of explain like how I approach YouTube. Like so for instance, I mean just being like transparent, right now is probably the lowest views that I've had in probably like 5 or 6 years. Maybe it's because people just don't like watching my channel anymore. There's a lot of other Total War YouTubers out there. I don't know. Maybe I don't make good content compared to them. Not really sure what the reasoning is, right? Whatever reason, I get less views dropped off. So like, yeah, it just dropped off very suddenly. So I don't know. Did YouTube get tired of feeding my videos out there because maybe my metrics aren't as good as someone else? Again, I have no idea what it is. Don't really care. The way I try and do it is like, I'm gonna make content that I like to make, and if there's a group of people that enjoys watching it, if it's 100,000, great. If it's 2,000, great. It's good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fine. So that's the way I try to approach it right now, is I'm not going to get wrapped up. Like, I have a day job. I have to spend a lot of time on my day job, you know, like crunching numbers and running stuff. Like, I'm not going to turn YouTube into some number crunching thing that just feels like a constant business plan and irritates me, right? That's not why I started a YouTube. I started a YouTube because I liked making videos, and that's the way I'm gonna keep running it. Like, I'm doing it because I like making videos. So the last thing I need is another thing to like sit there worrying about numbers all day. I get enough with numbers at work. Like, I don't need any more of that. And I'm not saying I like hate my job or something. I'm just saying like it's just bad for me, right? I don't need that. Hey, nice shot. Totally missed. I've watched a lot of Total War YouTubers there. Your content is top tier, and I'm one picky SLP. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. There's a lot of great Total War YouTubers out there right now. There's a lot of great YouTubers out there. So that's a good, so Megatron, so that's a good place to be. I feel like you can see when a person is feeling the pressure when they start putting the surprised face thing on, like in their thumbnails. Yeah, I do clickbait thumbnails every now and then just for fun. But yeah, I can't do that. Like the clickbaity titles, the thumbnails. And I'm not saying this makes people bad, right? If they enjoy it, go do it, right? Go do it. This is not me crapping on anybody, I promise. But like, for instance, I don't like making top 10 videos. I don't like making top 3 videos. I don't like making news and announcement videos about Total War, even though I like Total War Warhammer, right? I don't like it. So I don't make many of them. All of those things would probably get me a lot of views, but I don't enjoy it, and so I'm not gonna do it. Like the heavily, like, so for this is a good example. Milk and Cookies, Indie Pride, he makes some great videos. They're heavily edited. He works on scripts and stuff like that, and he's good at it. He does a good job at it. I can't do that. I don't like that, right? I can't do that type of video. He does it. He does a good job of it. Gets them quite a few views. He gets quite a bit more than I do. I can't do it though, right? Because it's not me. Like, it's not what I want to go do, and I'm glad he does well with it. Like, Indie Pride's awesome. Like, I'm glad he's succeeding at it. This is what I like to do. I like to play the game, and I like to play battles with people, and just like feel stuff out. Like, that's what I like to do with the game. And so I'm not gonna go try and do a different format unless I enjoy it, right? Unless I find a new format I enjoy, and that my viewers enjoy the same way that I do. That was an awesome battle. Yeah, it was a big battle. We had a pretty fun one with that.
Ha! Man things, no challenge.
Let's see here. 3 beers for Reichland. Yeah, Reichland is... Boy, Reichland really fed the kill count here. Reichland really fed the kill count.
More walking. One can feed.
We should be able to get back up here and help defend Erengrad. I'm almost out of time, though. I've got a few more minutes, though.
I cannot.
How long's Ostros gonna hold out? Yeah, we got time. We got time.
Warlock, master of Scryer.
Let's finish these goons off.
Wipe
Oh, they ran
out.
away. That's fine. Run away. Coming for you, Volkmar. Yeah, Killscribe, thanks for all the work, by the way, on the kill list. That's awesome. So Reichland's #1 now at 14,134 losses. Excellent. Carl, you've done well, sir. Carl, you have done very well. It is very much appreciated. It's fun. I really look forward to reading the kill counts. It's kind of become like a fun thing for me. If at any point, though, Killscribe, you get busy or you don't want to do that anymore, hey, don't feel obligated, man. I love it. I really do. And I will read it and enjoy it for as long as you're making it. But like, if you ever get like, you know, too busy or burned out or something, like don't feel like you have to do that in order to like stick around here or anything.
Experiment will succeed.
We appreciate you. Okay, he says doesn't feel like stopping. All right, well that's great. If you're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. But like I said, don't ever feel like that if you stop doing that, Air's gonna be like, well, what are you still doing here? No, no way, no way. But thank you.
Grace.
I forgot we got sieged up here. There's some good lads in Reichland, but dumb as bricks. Yeah, they're making some mistakes. Mistakes were made.
You will fight.
Let's see if we can fight our way out of this real quick. I love playing as the Empire. The Empire is definitely one of my factions that's kind of like an eternal go-to for me in campaign. Like, I love me some Empire campaign. Time for one more Ratning. Yeah, I think we'll probably finish it with this one. Been a pretty successful campaign, though. I also really enjoy a good dwarf campaign, Anthony. I agree. Grombrindle. I really, really like a good Grombrindle campaign because of all the OP buffs he can give to the infantry. But I love just the unit stuff from Empire, and honestly, that Empire gun mod, Oh my gosh, that was fun. Like, I've never had so much fun with mods before. Like, that was entertaining. It was really fun to play the gun mod.
It shall be done.
Never gambles magic. Nah, I don't ever usually gamble the magic. I guess I probably should. It's true though. I don't know why I don't ever take the time to gamble it. I guess I never felt like it did anything too amazing for me.
We serve. Gutter runners. Skaven Knight's command. At once. Council's command.
I'm gonna use the garrison to kind of soften up chaos a little. And then we'll save my exploding monsters for the end. Aaron, never gotten the chance to see you live. Really have fun watching you play through the same campaign I'm in. Well, thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Glad you got to catch it live. I've had a lot of fun with this campaign. Skaven is definitely not one of my go-to like factions for like as far as just like that I really enjoy. But to be fair, Claw has a really interesting campaign because of the lab that he has, and this one I find to be really fun too in a similar manner. So though they wouldn't be my first choice, not by a long shot, I do definitely enjoy it.
Ready, ready.
Okay, we are just gonna wear chaos down here.
Gutter runners. Our tail's yours. Advance retreat. Yes, superior one.
I'm gonna focus fire this giant.
One's wishes.
Actually, back up real quick. Let's charge this thing in instead. Let's run this unit in. We'll use the warp bomb eventually when we need to. Let's start working that giant a little. This giant's getting absolutely wrecked over here. Let's blow up this brood horde. Man, that is super effective with the SEMs. Wow.
Retreat, retreat.
Wow, that's good. Holy cow. Let's try that again. Let's go find us a big blob up here and try that again. That is crazy effective. Chaos is up here like having flashbacks, so like it's happening again. The rats just keep exploding. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, I mean, since this is our last battle, we might as well just, you know, dive in, start exploding. Let it rip. Is this just like a big Skaven fart? Oh my gosh, that is so good. That is so good. The exploding is absolutely OP. Not a single entity, it's so good because you don't even take any damage hardly from it. There really would be an argument to be made, just kind of for fun at some point. Like, I don't know that I'll ever get to do it on my channel, but for someone to just do, like, SEM spam with cellular instability on this campaign and just watch the world burn. Like, there's nothing they can do about it. Get absolutely destroyed. just ripping apart entire units there. Oh my goodness, that was a fitting end to the campaign. I feel like that was a good end to the campaign. Like that battle with Chaos just getting absolutely exploded by horribly mutated rat monsters, like that was good.
Thanks to my plan, victory.
That was good. Hey, thank you everybody for joining. We had a fun night. You had to put up with some of my sappy old stories. We finished the campaign. It went out with a bang, quite literally. Sure, there's a couple more things we could take care of here if we had time for some more turns. I'll keep the campaign save. I don't know that we'll ever come back to it, but I'll keep it in here just in case. We had a good time. Killscribe, thank you for keeping track of this one. It looks like in the end, the Reichland was just very determined to take first place. So the Reichland is the true winner of this campaign by supplying the most into the growth vat. We really needed that mutagen for the rat explosions and all the mutations there. So that was really perfect. That worked out great. Anyway, thank you to everybody who watched the campaign throughout or even just here, whatever it was. Appreciate the support. One more down, right? Now we've just got the Dryka campaign, and we're going to move on to some of the new content plans for 2021, which is the Shogun 2 stream and the co-op stream with Mrs. Air. So I'm really looking forward to both of those. So I hope to see you all there. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I will see you soon with some more content.